You are consciousness. And as you increase your level of consciousness, your purpose in this life will become activated. But when you turn your attention to the ego, you turn your attention away from consciousness, and your connection to source lowers as a result. Today, I'm going to share with you how discovering one simple diagram transformed my business, relationships, life's purpose, and so much more. Not only has it changed my life, it's a critical piece of the work that I do with all of my clients. And their utilization of this teaching has led to some of the most profound breakthroughs that I've ever witnessed. At the end of this video, I'm going to share with you the story of Simon, one of our group members who raised his level of consciousness, left his 9-to-5 job, manifested a new music studio, and his first 10K client. I remember it like it was yesterday. The year was 2006. I was 21 at the time, and I walked into the living room. Literally the moment that I entered the room, my attention was drawn to a book sitting on the coffee table. It was as if some force turned my head towards it. And the moment I saw it, what I experienced can only be described as tunnel vision. Everything within my peripheral vision almost became dim, as if the book was under a spotlight. It's like the book was calling me to pick it up and read it. I sat down with the book in my hands and studied the simple cover. Discovery of the Presence of God, Devotional Non-Duality by Dr. David Hawkins. The instant I began reading, I felt as though I was remembering. I could feel such a deep resonance with the essence of the material, something I had never felt before. It was in this book that I discovered the map of consciousness. The map of consciousness outlines different levels of energy, each of which are accompanied by different emotions. And each level indicates a specific way of viewing and experiencing life. From the levels of shame and guilt at the level of 20, all the way up to the levels of unconditional love and enlightenment at 1,000. As I studied this map, it dawned on me that what I was holding in my hands was some type of master key, a map for living life as a conscious creator, a map clarifying exactly how and why some people suffer all throughout life, while others live life joyously and in harmony with life. Now, while I didn't fully realize the complete scope of the map at the time, I knew with absolute certainty that it was to play a major role in my life. Now, another way of interpreting the map of consciousness is to view it as a map of vibration. Each level corresponds to an emotion, and each emotion has its own vibrational frequency. Everything is energy, and energy expresses itself in many different ways. Now, this is one of the most important points about the map. From levels 20 to 199 are the emotions of force. And in these emotional states, life is not flowing, joyful, or effortless. Life seems as though it is separate from you, and that you need to apply forceful effort in order to change what you see outside of you. To illustrate this point, let's run through a simple exercise right now so that you can see this pattern in your own life. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Now think about a time in your life when you felt really down emotionally. Maybe you were frustrated, anxious, or feeling hopeless. Now think about the pattern of events that was happening during this period of your life. Do you see the connection between your emotional state and the quality of relationships, business, your idea flow, inspiration, and so on? Life doesn't seem to naturally flow when our mood is low. In fact, it typically reflects the exact state of mind that we're in. When you're angry, there's always seems to be more to be angry about. People tend to get on your nerves more frequently than when you're calm, composed, and relaxed. When you're feeling sad or depressed, it seems like a sad or depressing world all around you. Opportunities or ideas don't come to the mind as often, or when they do, they're not recognized as having much potential. as they're seen through that lens of that lower vibration. As your vibration rises and passes over that critical threshold between power and force, life begins to take on a whole new dynamic. From within the level of courage at 200, for example, is the first level of power. Our consciousness shifts into empowerment. This is the level of I can. We automatically leave the energy of victimhood and we start to take personal responsibility for what we experience. If things aren't going our way, it's up to us to change it. If there's something that we want to be, do, or have, this awareness that I can do this propels new action and new results. The level of courage is characteristic of personal achievement and ambition. And as you ascend to the higher levels of consciousness, your inner state of being continues to expand. And this shifts the way that you approach life and how you experience it. As you continue to grow as an energetic being, this higher energy eventually begins to manifest as love, which becomes the sole motivation driving all of your decisions and actions. Life itself and everything within it is recognized as an expression of God and is therefore revered and honored. From within the level of love, there is an almost endless amount of mental, spiritual, and physical energy, which results in you tirelessly pursuing your creation. Your creation literally becomes an extension of this energy and is less about your own personal gain and more about the joy of impacting the lives of others. You realize that the abundance you receive is purely the direct and natural consequence of the sharing of your gifts and passions. It's like the pleasant side effect of living your purpose. It becomes a moral obligation to serve, and any challenges along the way are seen as opportunities to learn and evolve as a soul. This is effortlessness. Effortlessness doesn't mean that you do nothing while everything in your life transforms around you. It's the experience of pouring all of yourself into your life's purpose and doing so because you love it. This isn't hard work. This is passion. Have you noticed the pattern of these various levels so far? Regardless of the level, what you experience in your life is a direct consequence of the energy pattern that you're vibrating at. Each level carries with it an attractor field. You've heard this expression, right? That birds of a feather flock together, or like attracts like. Think about your friend group, for example. You're connected because of the similarity of your vibrational fields. You have things in common, right? Interests, likes, dislikes, points of view, and you likely come from similar backgrounds. But regardless of what you have in common, you feel that resonance with them. This is your alignment. The level of consciousness that you're at in any given moment is being projected from within your personal energy field out into the collective field and is drawn directly to its vibrational match. So if you're experiencing fear, you'll perceive the outside world through this energy field. Life will appear fearful, and you'll experience some degree of anxiety, as fear is an emotion based on a projection of what could happen in the future. So as you can see, the source of your transformation is directly within you. Free will is your birthright, which means that you have the choice in every moment to change your vibration. All you're experiencing is your own vibration. And once you change your vibrational baseline and maintain that shift, your attractor field changes as well. This is exactly what one of our group members, Simon, experienced firsthand as he began using the practices taught for raising consciousness.
My name is Simon. I'm from Switzerland, as you can see. So I'm gonna share a bit about my experience with working with you, Zach. I'm a musician, and audio engineer as well. And it always was my dream to become like successful with the music, play concerts and everything, and also work in a studio. In those areas I could see the first progress, because I think I'm really meant to do that. I think this is my purpose. Thing with the bands, I play in 2 bands and things just work out. We have concerts, getting in, radio interviews. We just recorded an album actually. The money was also just coming in effortlessly. Yeah, and also I'm working in a studio now, which was always my dream to do that, which is so epic. And just the right people showing up at the right time, man. I would say one of the biggest blocks I had was like the business. I was very insecure about that I could be self-employed, doing something on my own. This just really changed in the last couple of weeks. It was like one of the last blocks for me to really remove. And now I'm really getting started. I have a test client now, feeling very confident. Just the ideas are coming to me. Just really is the block that has been removed. As well as I experienced some results that surprised me, that I didn't expect. I was not like a very spiritual person, but I already was meditating before I met you and began working with you. And what I experienced in the last weeks was something they call the Kundalini energy, I believe. It's like the energy when I was meditating, I had a great release in energy, like body was shaking and everything. Like there were some negative trapped emotions, I guess, that were released, and it also felt very intense and joyful. Experienced like some disorientation after that, as if a part of me was missing. And I realized that this was the part that always sabotaged me, or a big part of this was just gone. And now what I experienced in the last couple of days is periods of intense joy. Like I didn't even know that this is possible, just not because of circumstances, not because of something that caused it. It's just for the sake of being alive. And this is so priceless, man. This is, I can't even put it into words. It's just, I'm in such a state I wasn't even aware of, that it is possible to experience life in such a state. And this is just beautiful. I'm so grateful for that. It all just happened because you and all the effort you put into your work, every call with you, all the uplifting words, just the whole thing. I'm very, very grateful that I made this decision a couple months ago to begin working with you and just do it. I was really aware that I had to change. I drew that line in the sand, as you would put it, made that decision, hopped on the call with you, and there I was really resonating, and then already knew that this is the right thing to do. So I'm very happy for that. Let's see where this is going. I just can't say it enough, man. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, brother. This is really life-changing what you do, your work. You are a pioneer. Everyone who is thinking about like working with Zach, everyone who is resonating with his teachings and his videos and everything, I can just say, get on a call with him. And yeah, what it actually needs is just your willingness. All the tools are provided by Zach. You get like the most efficient tools ever, and then it's just about trusting the process and just doing what he says. Being coachable, and the willingness. The willingness is like that one thing you gotta bring into the program, into that self-mastery journey, and then you will probably get results that you even couldn't imagine in the first place. I'm really excited about where my journey is going, man. Yeah, let's do it.
Now, if there's at least one thing that you take away from this teaching, I hope it is that you realize that the power is within you to create absolutely anything that you put your mind to. No matter what you've been through or what your history is, you can become who you came here to be.